Alright then, Snuffy. With a nose that big, you better be able to smell a goal. Thank you to our $5 patrons, Red Wolf 4765, Midnight Gem Lord Sean, and Demix LND. Another thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays and Red Wolf 4765. Another thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha and Idemokami. And another very big thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. Before I'm this breakdown / live reaction to chapter 223 of Blue Loco, please don't forget to leave your on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little in case you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You support for as low as $1 month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the live reaction. What's up, guys? All Pumpster here, and here we are to do a live reaction to chapter 223 of Peak Loco, which is known as I can't see it. Where I am, I can't see it. So we'll figure out soon enough. But we're here for chapter 223 of Blue Loco. The chapter 222, ended off with the big boy, the big schnauzer himself, Snuffy, getting the ball. And you know, as the chapter itself says, he is the craftiest master tactician. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, I have it on me, and I keep it on me at all times. And as you also know, this is Peaklock, and thusly, we're pre-drawing. I am pre-denoting worthiness. And thusly, I expect peak. If peak is not met, well, to say the very least, there will be consequences. But not for me. But, let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Thanks to Snuffy's designs, Uber shifts it up to a higher gear, facing the world's craftiest tactician. BM are forced to the back foot as they struggle to repel Uber's unrelenting assault. Okay. So this is going to be interesting to see. Mainly in particular because of how the team setups are correlating right now, right? Because even with Snuffy, the master being on the team, or not being on the team, he's obviously on the team, being on the field right now, you gotta remember, no matter what, no matter how chaotic, no matter how clogged, no matter how insane the field is looking, no matter how many people could think that they have a goal, I'm assuming all roads lead to Barrow. You know how they say all roads lead to Rome? All roads don't actually lead to Rome, they lead to Barrow. And thusly, I still think that's going to be the biggest weakness for Ubers, unless Snuffy has a plan to switch it up. Because the main issue with all roads leading to Barrow is you don't get the same multifaceted danger that a team like BM gets. You don't get the same multifaceted danger that a team like Manshine City gets. You don't get the same multifaceted danger that I guess Barcha has. I don't know. Bachira seems to be like the end goal of that team too. But I feel like Otoya could get up in the goal. And don't get me wrong, we still do have some strikers. We have some beasts. We have some monsters. We have people who could be strikers like Aiku, who just typically aren't. We have people like Nico, who, his goal was to be a striker, even though he has accepted that defender / supporting role mentality. And who knows, Lorenzo is a defensive midfielder, the best in the new Gen 11, but at the same time, he could be capable of a goal. But I think due to the whole worker mentality that these guys all have under Snuffy, I don't think you have the same offensive pressure that the other teams do. You don't have that same offensive advantage that the other teams do. Like, the thing that is so good about BM is that no matter how chaotic it is, half the darn team can score. And they don't even score in a similar fashion. That's the thing. You have to memorize how every single one of their potential scorers can score. And some of those scorers have mix-ups in their scoring. Like Isagi, he now has the 50-50. You don't know if he's going with his left or his right. That is established now. You know it, which admittedly is less valuable than not knowing about the lefty shot. But the lefty shot exists. So now, if you're the goalie or defender, you need to know any single time Isagi gets the ball, it doesn't matter which foot it goes to, you now have to deal with the 50-50. Is he going to go right and shoot to the upper left? Is he going to go left and shoot to the upper right? What, you just don't know. But now it's there. With Kunigami, same thing. You get the ever-evolving 50-50. Ever-revolving, more like it, because he can just appear out of nowhere, like a poacher, and at the same time, his shots are powerful from both legs. So you have another 50-50 that can kind of disappear. Kaiser Impact. It's not a 50-50, but it's basically a guaranteed goal. Like, if it happens, if the conditions are met, aka Kaiser getting the ball within like 30 meters of the goal, boom, you're done, because it's Kaiser Impact. The fastest swing speed in the world, even greater than Noel Noah's. You can't really stop that. Yuki Maya. You even have a 50-50 with Yuki Maya. Like, maybe I've been playing too much Dragon Ball Fighters. I feel like I've been saying 50-50 more often. But like, legitimately, even with Yuki Maya, you have the 50-50. Is he going to sword screw you? AKA he's going to have the ball drop even sharper, and then it's going to bounce up into the goal? Or is he going to do the regular gyro shot, where he's going to look like he's going to overshoot it maybe into a sword screw, but in reality, it's just a gyro shot that's going to go into the upper right side of the goal. That's another 50-50 that you as a goalkeeper have to worry about, because they are in two entirely different directions. That's the thing. With, like, simpler scorers, like, hypothetically, I'd say Borrow. He's a simple scorer, but he's very good at what he does, so it's not easy to stop him. You know where Borrow's goal formula is. Sure, he can pull off miraculous stuff like he did in the U20, but his main thing, he loves that upper right-hand corner. It's just where his brain is at. You can mostly predict that he's going to go for that if the conditions for him to score are met. But with pretty much everyone who can attack on BM, you don't know. Heck, especially with Noel Noah on the field, you really don't know, because that's three different people who either have one, pseudo ambidextrosity, two, trained ambidextrosity, or three, natural ambidextrosity. So that's 6 types of shots you have to worry about from 3 players. 6 raises 3 fingers. That's 6 types of shots you need to worry about from 3 players. Not to talk of the danger that is Kaiser Impact and the extra 2 shots you need to worry about from Yuki Maya. They're like you get so many options with BM, but the big issue that Ubers has is that it doesn't really have those solid definitive options. Like I said, you could have Aiku score. You could have Nico score. Heck, you could even have Snuffy score. You could, but one, I don't think Snuffy would. His whole goal here, geez, he is jacked, bro. Look at these arms. But the whole goal of Snuffy is to pass the crown on to Borrow. He doesn't really want to be the leading man anymore. That's what his whole narrative is about. Finding people to lead the next generation and take off where he and his friend left off. Like, that's his whole goal. So I don't think he's going to go for the score, even if he had the opportunity to. And Nico, have we ever seen him score? Ever? Like think. We never started to see his 100 goal. The scoring test for him, the 100 goals, we never got to see that. He didn't score in first selection. We didn't get to see him at all in second selection. Third selection, no clue. We have never seen Nico score. We don't even know what kind of shot he has. Like, have you ever shot that shot? We have no idea. We have no idea what kind of shot Nico has. And I don't think Nico knows what kind of shot Nico has. Same thing with Aiku. Sure, it's nice. He's big, he's bulky, he's beefy, but I don't know if he can really shoot like that. And Ryu, I mean, we've seen Ryu score before, but like, bro's all the way on the other side of the field. He's not even like, at least with someone like Nico, Nico's like in the upfield. He's like, well, not the upfield. He's in the field. He's on the opposite side of the field. He can be engaged. He is up there and getting dangerous. But like, Ryu's all the way back there, and he's the only one who we've actually seen score. So once again, the whole point of Ubers is to funnel to Borrow, but since the whole point of Ubers is to funnel to Borrow, you have such limited options in comparison to an ever-revolving door like BM, which can score anywhere, anytime. Even something like Manshine City, though I admit they're probably down to like 2 strikers, 3 if you include Agi, thanks to Rayo giving up. Even still, a 50-50 is crazy. Like, you have to know that, okay, if Chigiri has the ball, that could be a goal. If Nagi has the ball, that could be a goal. If Rayo has the ball, that could be a goal. If Agi has the ball, that could be a goal. All 4 different options. Not to talk of if Chris Prince is out there, you got 5 that you need to worry about. For Ubers, just based on what I know of the characters so far, based on how the team has been established and the plans that we have seen so far from Ubers, it feels like it's all tunnel vision. And if I'm able to notice that, what do you think the 3... We have 2 confirmed Metavision users in Kaiser and Isagi, and obviously Noah on the field right now. If Noah doesn't have Metavision, I'll eat my sock. So, like, dog, I'm not exactly sure how, like, Ubers is really going to get past that. It's going to take something crazy. And I know a lot of the options are locked down defensively. Lorenzo is obviously, he's got a clamp on Kaiser right now. You know that boy Nico is locking down Isagi the very best he can. You know Snuffy's probably going to be the Noah counter. It's just built like that. But like, who's got Kunigami? Are you? Probably Aiku. And then Yuki Maya's probably got by Aryu. So there is a solid matchup here, but I still think BM is like almost infinitely more dangerous than Ubers in terms of having the ball in their court. I'm more worried about a goal from BM that closes off this game than I am worried of a ball or a goal from Ubers that ties up this game. But I do think there's going to be a goal from Ubers. There has to be. Like, even with me taking this whole time to like explain why I don't think it's realistically possible for Ubers to score that easily, we're not gonna. Like, I don't see Kaneshiro Sensei and Nomura Sensei really ending it on like a 3-1. Like, you're going from a hat trick to a 3-1. I don't think so. But let's see. Okay, let's look before we get into it. Let's observe the field. So we got Snuffy. He's trapped the ball on the outside of his right foot. We got Raichi up here, ready and prepared. We got Baro already. Is he? I can't tell if he's in the penalty box yet, but it looks like he's pretty darn close or just straight up inside it. But it makes sense that he could be inside it because we see Ness back here. He seems to be in the penalty box, so Baro is not offsides. We have Yuki Maya posted up right here. He could charge in on Snuffy right now. And then we don't see them in this panel, but we see Nico and Aiku here, so they could get dangerous, they could get tragic. And we got the main fluffy man himself, Lorenzo. Keep crushing him, okay? Let's do this. All right, it's coming. Sagi. We just started the chapter, bro. We just started the chapter. You can't do this. You can't lead with that, Isagi. I'm sorry, bro. You just can't lead with, it's coming. Like, bro, chill. We just started. Let's see. The second wave. All right. So let's read the mix here. Grim, useless as always. Bro, stand to the side. Raichi, about to get stuffed by Nico. I can see it right now. My son's about to get active on this fraud. Then we have this guy. Mensa? I forget who this guy is. I've seen him before. But he's leaning out. I'm assuming, considering we don't have anyone really sub to cover him other than like maybe Yuki Maya right here, I'm assuming what's going to happen is that he's going to be like the pivotal point of connection. Nico and Aiku, if Aiku's even up here, is going to be like bait to distract. And it's going to be this guy that's going to like link with Snuffy, who's then going to link with Bara. But let's see. Our defense is barely hanging on. Okay, how do we defend this next attack? Even my metavision is being outread. I've been hearing complaints around the community that too many people are getting metavision now, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. It's kind of natural. And I don't think metavision was going to be the end-all, be-all for Isagi anyway. I think he is literally just going to have to keep Frankensteining new moves onto his kit. Like, it's been kind of a part of his character up to this point that, like, whatever you think may be a massive revelation is realistically just an extra addition to his kit. And while metavision was a very big revelation, so was the direct shot. So, like, things are rarely end-all be-alls for Isagi. So I'm interested to see what the next step after metavision is, or how far he can evolve metavision, but I'm not mad that multiple people are getting it. Snuffy having it makes sense. Nico getting it makes sense. Kaiser having it, well, yeah, he's the original one that at least we know of. The Masters having it, more people on the world stage having it, all of it makes sense. It would actually kind of annoy me if fewer people had metavision, considering how, not like simple, it's not a simple thing, but how many people should have like similar mental specs to Isagi, if not superior mental specs to Isagi. And I do like this parallel. I'm not sure if this is intentional, but I like how they're posing and their standing mirrors each other, and they're likely both thinking the same thing. Like, both are like, I gotta think this man out. I gotta feel out this man right now. I know people wanna, but like, I don't know, I still can't get past the nose. But I do like how these two mirror each other. Legitimately, I'm not sure we don't see Isagi's back arm pose here, but they literally are standing opposite to each other in the exact same fashion. Let's see. What kind of brain is inside that guy's head? I mean, I don't know, the pink one? Like, does yours come in a special color, Isagi? I don't know what kind of brain you expect to be in this man's head. But I get what he means here. Because the thing is, right, one of the biggest issues that Isagi keeps getting brought up in, especially within the community, but even in the story, like, the story has acknowledged it, and Isagi has acknowledged it himself, he just doesn't have the specs to really like utilize his brain to the full stability. Like, the reason Snuffy is likely infinitely more dangerous than Isagi is not only for the fact that he's more experienced, older, smarter, all that, but also he's just bigger, stronger, faster. And he can see the same, if not a better future than Isagi can see, meaning he can facilitate at a much higher level than Isagi can, and he can control the field at a much higher level than Isagi can. That's one of the main reasons I still think Kaiser absolutely clears Isagi, despite him being beat in playmaking like twice. Because even if Isagi has a higher variation of metavision through the protagonism understanding, the protagonism, it went crazy. Kaiser's specs are still so insane physically. Isagi's just never going to get Kaiser impact. Isagi's just never going to get the kind, well, maybe he could, but I don't think he's going to get the kind of speed that Kaiser has. He's not going to be able to suddenly burst up to Kaiser's height. Like, legitimately, Kaiser's just baseline a better player. Isagi's going to have to graft more, like, general skills on top of him to really become a true match for Kaiser, at least in my opinion. And we see, once again, with a metavision user with more experience going up against Isagi, he's kind of just stuck out of luck. At least with Nico. Nico has arguably worse stats physically than Isagi, and he's really new to metavision. So Isagi, of course, can dog on Nico. But essentially, Snuffy is to Isagi what is Isagi is to Nico. A metavision user that is just lesser. So let's see how it works out. This lanky man, bro. This lanky man. Okay, interesting. I didn't even see Kunigami. Where'd you come from, bro? Where I may have to check the previous chapter, but bro, where on earth did you come from? Bro straight up spawned in. What? Bro was not here. Let's see, Lorenzo. A totally different attacking pattern. If I charge in without knowing what they're up to, it's obvious I'm gonna get shut down. If that's the case, observe their movements. Analyze Snuffy's world-class tactics and thought process. I don't think his nose doesn't look that bad there. His head is still huge. Like, okay, I know. Pencil, your head's gigantic too. I know. Trust me. I know. I can insult because I know. But I don't have a hook nose. Like, jeez. I know he can smell colors. He can smell the rainbow. Like, legitimately, I know he's breathing in at least 30% of the world's oxygen. Probably 40. 50 on a good day. Can't imagine. 60 when he's tired. Bro, he smells everything that could be smelled and things that can't be smelled. Bro is different on the nose game. But let's see. But it's interesting, though, because even with all my talking about how limited Ubers is on the offensive front, Isagi's still, like, super duper worried about studying Snuffy and his tactics. But I suppose, once again, he is under the impression that Snuffy is more of a master striker. I'm not so worried about Snuffy trying to score because, like, I have outsider information. I read the manga. That's why I know what Snuffy's real goal is. But for Isagi, Snuffy's just as viable a threat, if not more of a threat than Baro. So realistically, there is just a lot that Isagi needs to take note of and take care of in this moment. So yeah, I can't even blame Isagi for not necessarily just locking in on Baro. Oh, what'd I say? Told you this guy would be important. Let's see. So to Lorenzo, to this guy, it is not, I think it's supposed to be where his name is. I have no idea. For some reason, Mensa just keeps popping into my head, but I think Mensa is somebody else. They're attacking the space on the left. This time they're planning using the entire width of the field and breaking us down with crosses. Okay, that makes sense. You essentially just want to drag out the defense, because the biggest issue with, like, a tight pack defense is that you need to aim around them. And, like, there's just not much move, or there's not much English. There's not much space for mobility. Mobility is one of the most important aspects that you kind of need to have, but you can't have that when the whole field is just stuffed with defenders. And thusly, by taking up the entire width of the field, you're just dragging BM real thin. So hypothetically, if a certain someone were to just appear in one of those nicely set up gaps made by the rest of Ubers, then they could just have a free shot at scoring. And they have to deal with, at best, 1 or 2 defenders and the goalie. So, it could get tragic. New Paddock. Let's see. Bro is holding on to him like his life depends on it. Okay, Rachi. And that's what you doing, bro. What you cooking, bro? While everyone's moving to deal with the cross, Snuffy's slipping through our blind spots. I like that. Once again, I feel like in spite of how much Isagi idolizes Noel Noah, I think what Isagi's long-term goal should be is to just straight up become an exact duplicate of Snuffy. Like straight up with maybe a bit more of a striker leader mentality, but like straight up just copy Snuffy's specs, bro. like if you can. Though admittedly, I think I'm pretty sure Snuffy's even taller than Noah. So like physically, Snuffy will always be Isagi's superior, but like in terms of play style, I feel like Noah's play style is a bit too like, is it weird to say active? Like it feels like it's too much physical movement for how Isagi currently plays. So it feels like this manipulation of the field into blind spot manipulation and realistically just playmaking. It feels very Isagi centric. And I feel like Isagi does realistically have a lot to learn from Snuffy and how he plays. But let's see. Ooh, he chipped it. That's clean. We're screwed. Come on, someone realize. Snuffy's what? Yeah. My boy. Ooh, my boy, y'all. Oh, my boy, y'all. I'm sorry. I love Kaiser. I think Kaiser's legitimately like a top 5 character. I think after all the character has done, I think he is just top 5. One of my favorite designs in the entire series. One of my favorite weapons in the entire series. Introduced us to both realistically Metavision and Predator Eye. We got introduced to Predator Eye through him. We only really got it established, quote unquote, through Borrow though. So like, bro really has just been backpacking the Neo Egotist League. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's great to see characters that we know and their evolutions, but Kaiser and his character dynamics with pretty much everyone he interacts with has got to be some of my favorite characterization that the Blue Lock mangaka has done. I love it. So I'm happy to see my boy compete. Though he didn't do too well against the last master he faced off. I mean, he held his own against Prince, don't get me wrong, but like Prince was obviously messing around with him. But then again, Prince is like a 25, nearly 30-year-old man versus Kaiser, who is at most 19. How crazy would it be if Kaiser was like 17? That'd be wild. But I think Loki's the like 17-year-old prodigy. Well, Loki's a master, so maybe he's different, but I think Kaiser has to be like 19. Though interesting that Lorenzo let Kaiser breathe again. But I suppose, once again, this is different. Because Ubers is currently on the attack. I'm assuming Lorenzo is going to keep the clamps on Kaiser whenever they switch to offense, which they may just do if Kaiser can steal it. But I assume Snuffy, he cooking. Because Kaiser's not taller than Noah. So Snuffy, he gotta be cooking. Let's see. I can see it, you eagle-nosed fool. Eagle-nosed? I mean, I guess that's a way to put it. Eagle-nosed? I don't know. I have a completely different type of insult, but I'm not going to say it here. But you're just only seeing. Oh, but you're just only seeing, right? You don't know what I'm doing. That's good for me, and it's bad for you. But let's see. Okay, bro, low-key does look like an eagle right here. And he even does have wings, bro. Okay, wait, yo, did he crouch cancel? bro, animation canceled real quick. Because let's see what happens here. So the ball is arcing over. It gets chipped over literally this entire wall. There's Nico and Isagi. There's Aiku, or is that Aiku? I can't tell. No, I don't think that's Aiku. I think it's just one of Uber's players and another one of BM's players. Over Ness and this dude. And Lorenzo all the way to Snuff. These people are appearing from the Shadow Realm, I tell you. Unless that's supposed to be Kaiser right there. These people are just showing up from the Shadow Realm. But, so the ball's in the air. Kaiser grabs Snuffy to lock him down. But, oh, okay, so I see it. So what probably happened is Kaiser... Consider this Snuffy's torso, right? Instead of my torso, it's Snuffy's torso. Or instead of my arm, it's Snuffy's torso. So Kaiser goes like this to lock down Snuffy. And then Snuffy, using the fact that Kaiser's like literally like hooked onto him, instead of fighting to get Kaiser off, it looks like he leans into the tug because Kaiser's hand, you can literally see it. Kaiser's hand slips low. Kaiser, get your hand off that, bro. You on live TV, you're going to make Ness mad. You don't want Ness mad, Kaiser. You don't want Yandere Ness. But You can literally see, it looks like Snuffy leaned into it, turned, leaps into the air, and kind of like low-key let Kaiser kind of support him. Because like his knee is lodged straight in Kaiser's armpit. Which is crazy. Like Kaiser got a hand on the cheek and Snuffy got a knee in the crook. And boom, he headers the ball away. That's cool too. He specifically, it looks like he took the arcing momentum and just straight shot it. Like he took the, ow. Sorry, I had a rubber band in my hand. But like the ball was traveling like this, an overarching flow. And then Snuffy essentially kind of just, because like he had to lean into it. You could tell he had to lean into it. But the fact that he took it from an arc to an immediate straight shot is crazy. And he even caught Kaiser completely off guard here, which is very, very impressive. This kind of motion and manipulation of one's body in response to another is pretty hard to do. Like you need to be, like, I don't know, at least whenever I've reacted, like people, because, you know, homies, like so if you try to jump scare your friends, at least I don't know, maybe my friend group is weird, but my friend group and people who I know do tend to jump scare their friends whenever they can, just for laughs, you know. And whenever we do, like the reactions are kind of delayed. Like none of us are like top tier insane reaction people or anything, so we'll have like, but it looks like Snuffy just immediately reacted to Kaiser's grab, only to like pretty much outdo him. Like how much time do you think passed? There was enough time for them to exchange 2 sentences before the ball was where it needed to be. And notably, Snuffy likely intercepted the ball, at least considering he goes like half a Kaiser in height. He probably didn't intercept the ball like down here. He intercepted it like up here and still managed to header it away. That's pretty impressive. But let's see. So high, even though Kaiser got a body on him, he could still jump that high? What crazy body balance and hold up play. Okay. So yeah, it was, I was kind of right. It was the manipulation of his own physical body in tandem with just like relatively quick. Once again, it was kind of like it literally looks like he frame canceled, because like he was running only to immediately go into a turning leap. Like bro went, like how do you even do that? You saw he's right. That kind of body balance and spatial awareness is super duper impressive. Yo, the way this panel was drawn, I could have sworn it was about to be like Rin, like the Rin at the end of the second selection, whereas like the ball ruthlessly, coldly, he fell into the feet of the victor. But no, it looks like this is just the continuation of the play. But let's see. I mean, technically they could engage. They're in the penalty box right now, and Kaiser's feet down, 10 toes down, well, 5 toes down in the penalty box right now. So Nico, he could score, but it looks like, oh, yo, don't get off my son, Noah. Chill out, bro. Why'd you have to go after my son like that, Noah? Stop. You know you are way too big to be dealing with that child. Stop it, Noah. So he's 15, Noah. Get your hands off him. That is crazy. Look at this matchup, bro. Look at I'm sorry, bro. I just feel so bad for Nico right now. Bro is literally fighting a demon. Like, even after Uber's amps, you know, Nico couldn't deal with any of the masters. But he has to deal with the #1 striker. That's crazy. Try and shoot, Pipsqueak. Noah's really he's feeling antagonistic tonight. He's like, yeah, go ahead. I dare. Noah really said, I double dog dare you to try and shoot that bad boy. Go ahead. Drop it on me. See if you can. I bet he's like legitimately intrigued too. It's fine. It's all going according to Snuffy's design. Oh, okay. What'd I say though? Look who it led to. But let's talk about this real quick. That is crazy. So Nico traps the ball in midair, mind you. It's straight up in midair. Neither of his feet are on the ground. He traps the ball in midair. The ball bounces. It bounces away from him. He doesn't have like the black hole trap of Nagi, where he could essentially just kill all the ball's momentum. He doesn't have the ability to relax his trunk muscles like that. So the ball bounces. And seemingly enough, he literally, knowing that he couldn't compete with Noah, he plants his left foot quick enough that Noah couldn't really do anything to stop him from, seemingly enough, like he traps the ball away. So he had to land with his left and then heel pass it with his right. That's pretty impressive. Once again, under that kind of pressure, but you do see bro does have metavision activated. So he saw a little bit of that future coming. But that's interesting. And notably, Noel isn't using metavision here. Because we know, like, one thing I was wondering is, oh, maybe the reason we don't see metavision being used by the Masters is because, like, oh, they just don't show it. Like, maybe they're consistently in metavision and that'd be annoying to draw every single time. But no, we do see when Snuffy's in metavision versus when he's not. When he has the metavision eyes that everyone else has and when he doesn't. Like, this is not metavision. He's just casually chilling throughout this entire play. His eyes go blank here, so maybe he's using it here, but I don't know. He doesn't just flicker it on and off. So he's not even in metavision. Neither is Noel. So interesting. According to Snuffy's design. Yeah, once again, this is the big thing. I'm assuming someone's going to be able to stop him, though. Let's look at the defensive lineup here. So, in this play... Oh, okay. I think Isagi's probably going to stop him. He probably... If I had to take a guess, if I'm Isagi here, and I see that Kaiser has negated Snuffy, at least for the play, he shut him down a little bit, then I know the danger isn't here. There's nothing to worry about here. And then plus, if I'm Isagi, and once again, I'm metavisioning, I'm I'm metagaming as hard as possible here. I'm gonna notice, okay, the ball's here, Nico's there. Nico's not gonna try and score with Noel Noah on him. I gotta double back. Barrow's gotta be somewhere because they don't have any, at least out of the named characters, or well, every character's named, but out of the characters who like actually have known scoring ability, there's only one option. So I have to take a guess. It's probably Isagi that's going to come in and stop this. Or Barrow scores. Maybe Barrow scores. Go to 2-2. Seriously? Yep. We're really at the end of our rope here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy about to give me a neck cramp. Yeah. Yeah. Look at bro. Look at, and that's crazy too. Because like, admittedly, this doesn't seem to be a flow Barrow. There's no black sclera. There's no like faded anything for his irises. But like, look at bro. Bro's got 1, 2, 3, 4 separate veins popping across 3 different limbs. Make it 4, like, geez, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6 different veins popping. Bro was hunting. He was moving for that ball. But no, Isagi still managed to shut him down. Presumably, I'm assuming he like double back, moved around Nico, and then boom, appeared. Because that's the only way. And we, once again, look at I mentioned, the fact that the defense was so spread out, they needed someone like Isagi there in that moment. Ugh. And Barrow's nettled, but you know, what's new? Oh, shot whore. The great King Barrow is angry. Oh, revolutionary. Let's see. We stopped it, but we won't last at this rate. Out of bounds, Uber's throw in. Yeah, okay. The only reason we're still holding on is because Noah, Kaiser, and myself can read their attacks. Ooh, this is such a nice drawing of Kaiser. I swear. Nomura, how do you do this, bro? On a weekly basis? On a weekly basis? Like, I get it. They don't... Nomura is like... Nomura is like a criminal offender of white background action lines and white background syndrome. Like there's nothing, they're in a void right now. This is literally just headshot, but still, like, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. And I hate drawing backgrounds myself. And once again, there's not much background to draw here. It's not like we're in a battle shonen. Like this, you would just see like the walls of the facility, but still, look at how gorgeous Kaiser looks here. Man, bro is so handsome. Bro is just really, really handsome. Ness looking scruffy as always. But yeah, Isagi's right. Since the 3 of us are covering the team's blind spots, we haven't conceded a goal. But even with the 3 of us covering, we're completely on the defensive and barely holding our ground. I guess that is true. Because here's the thing, like, I personally believe, no matter pretty much any activity, you can argue, prove me wrong or whatever. But I'm thinking, like, baseball, football, basketball, chess, soccer, anything, any sort of sport, you pretty much always want to be the attacker. You always want to have the first mover advantage. That's pretty much just all rule, no matter what. I forget what the percentage is, but literally it's statistical. In chess, white wins more. Why? Because it gets the first move. whenever you are attacking, you have almost infinitely more options than your defender. Say like in basketball, you're in a one-on-one with somebody, but you are the defender. You now need to guess if your opponent's charging at you head on. You need to guess which way they're gonna go. There's the one layer. There's the 50-50. But then not only that, if you're playing against a team and you're just on your man, you need to wonder if he's going to do the 50-50, if he's going to drop back, if he's going to try and go, if your legs are open, is he going to try and bounce between your legs? Does he have teammates that are behind him that he could backwards bounce the ball to? I'm sorry, your boy's struggling with English right now. I have no idea why. But he could either bounce the ball back, give it back to one of the people behind him, or there could be someone over you or to your left or to your right or directly behind you that he could pass the ball over or around you to. Like, there are infinitely more options you have on offense in comparison to the limited options you have on defense. With defense, you kind of just have to guess and react. Like, I had a friend way back in high school, and one of the main things that made him so annoying to play against in like any sport ever, whenever we did gym, bro had like inhuman reaction speeds. He could just react to it. He was like perfect goalie, perfect defender, perfect anything. Like, I specifically remember when we were playing dodgeball, like, bro would, if he was on your team, you were like nigh on guaranteed to win. You would need like 5 people to like unitedly throw a dodgeball at him at the same time, all at different speeds and velocities, to hope that maybe you hit him, because his reaction speed was just that good. But like, not all people are like that. And even then, he still had defensive faults, because the offensive people, us, whenever we were playing against him, we still had more options than he did. And with Ubers, the big issue here is that while they do have one endpoint, you can't rely on that fact. I know I was making a big deal how like, oh, you just rely on the idea. But once again, that's because I have outsider information. I know what Uber's meta goal is. And sure, Isagi can probably take that guess and probably did understand it. That's why he was able to intercept Baro here. But anybody can score. The danger is everywhere. Every single person that had the ball in that last play, from Snuffy to Lorenzo and nearly to Baro. Maybe not that one dude. This guy... Nico, maybe not Nico either. Well, no, I'll give credit to my son, Nico. And maybe this, where is he? This guy, who knows? Him, maybe he could do it too. But all of those guys have at the same time, the simultaneously infinite and limited options that an attacker has. Or no, the simultaneously limitless options that attackers do, while the defenders kind of just had nothing. They had to take a guess and once again, literally guess what the best course of action would be. For Kaiser, it was locking down Snuffy right here because he saw where the ball was going and could meta vision it. But even then, that didn't last. For Noah, it was stopping Nico here, who seemed to be the facilitator of something strong or even a goal attempt, so he tried to shut it down. And then for Isagi here, it was stopping Baro. They were lucky. They were able to do it. They guessed right. In the 50-50, they chose right. But Ubers can just keep laying down the 50-50. They can just keep adding more mix-ups. And sure, even if it always goes to Baro, you can never be 100% sure that it's always going to be Baro scoring. And who knows? These may just be the simple plays. Maybe Baro could actually just get active. Like, if Baro doesn't, if there are some plans that Snuffy has that don't just strictly feed Baro, where Baro is simultaneously a facilitator and an attacker too, then it gets even more dangerous. So I get why Isagi's like, oh, no. I get why Isagi's all concerned here, because it's just smothering when you're on the defensive end, especially considering this is not a team of defenders. This is a team of strikers. Like, these are people, the 3 people who can uphold the defense are all either 1, the greatest striker in the world, 2, one of the future greatest strikers in the world and the best striker of the new Gen 11, or 3, a person aiming to be the number 1 striker. None of these people are defenders, but they're the only people who can act as defenders in this moment. So it's really, really rough for them, and I like that. This is a really interesting twist, and I like how this is kind of how Ubers is fighting to keep up some sort of challenge against the monsters. But let's see. Right now, I don't have an image of stealing the ball and attacking on the counter. Plus, Snuffy's completely different from Prince or Lavahino. Unlike those 2 masters, he's not focused on scoring his own goals. But notice how what Isagi says here. He's not focused, but that doesn't mean you can ignore him. Like, I think Snuffy, if he realizes, because, well, actually, no, maybe not. Maybe Snuffy's willing to gamble it, because all it takes is one mistake right now, and the game's over. Like if, in my opinion, if BM gets the ball again, they're scoring. Maybe. Unless Ness messes up. The play that I'm expecting somehow, I don't think Ubers is going to succeed here. I don't think they're going to succeed on this counter. And I think BM's going to get the ball. And then what I assume is that somehow, some way, Isagi is then going to achieve the ball. Like, he's going to get his hands on it, his greedy little mitts on it somehow. And then what's going to end up happening is that Ness will actually succeed in like catching Isagi lacking, because he's so high level, he's so focused on things like Snuffy, the rest of Ubers. He's like, okay, fine, we'll just work on this, we'll metavision this, we'll do this, do that, do that. Isagi is going to lose the ball to Ness, and then Ness is going to end up selling, as always, because he's going to try and give the ball to Kaiser. But Lorenzo, who now has the clamps on Kaiser, knowing he can't let him go offensively, is going to get the ball, immediately facilitate to Snuffy, and Snuffy's going to use the chaos and confusion to get the ball up the field again, over to Barrow. Barrow's going to score, and then Noel's going to be like, okay, Ness, dog, I let it slide before because Isagi still managed to score, but you need to get off the field, bro. We need to sub somebody in. It's Hiyori. And or I think what could happen here is that Isagi just stalls. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but once again, 3 minutes. All he needs to do is stall for 3 minutes. As long as he can hold down and lock down Snuffy for 3 minutes, the field gets infinitely easier to take care of. Even with the loss of Noah, I think the danger that Snuffy provides as a facilitator is way more of a negative than Noel Noah is a benefit, which is crazy to say, but I do believe it is like that. Because while Ubers can facilitate on their own, I think the general ability of BM is good enough defensively and offensively to handle base Ubers. It's when they get the Snuffy amp, the Snuffy DLC, that's when they get super duper crazy. Let's see. So even that one's a bust. Pity. Everything he does is all about maximizing the effectiveness of his team's strategies. He's not using his superb body balance, physicality, or goal-scoring abilities as a striker. Rather, he's using his abilities to help his team score goals with the tactics they came up with. I think I got it now. Snuffy's thought process. This guy, he's making sure that the rest of the team follows their tactics, like a watchman. Okay. So I get what Isagi sees here. He essentially realizes that Snuffy isn't, while he is here facilitating, he is here supporting, what he really is like your boss looking over your shoulder at work. Like, yeah, hypothetically, you could turn around and ask him a question. Be like, hey, I'm a little confused on this. Can you help clarify it for me? And then and that'll be helpful and nice and all that. But realistically, it's your boss peering over your shoulder to make sure that you're doing things as you're supposed to. Snuffy is simultaneously helping out a lot, but he's also limiting Ubers in the sense that everything needs to go the way he said it was supposed to go, or else. And I still think that if Ubers does lose this game, because I've seen the arguments why technically Ubers quote unquote should win this game. But if Ubers win this game, it's going to, well, if they lose, it's going to be because they were too rigid, because there wasn't enough flexibility. It's going to be like the hole in Snuffy's methodology. But we'll see. No wonder he can outread my metavision. Since Snuffy's focused on surveying the game, it's easy to contain a guy who's selfishly trying to steal the ball to score goals. I mean, yeah. Like, yeah, it is true. Like, if you had to take a guess, oh no, he has the ball, what is he going to do? He's probably not going to pass it, especially considering his main man is gone. He's going to try and score. Let's stop that. That does make sense. I'm very interested to see how Isagi's going to function now that he pretty much has to rely on Raichi and Noah. Like, I think that's it. If Raichi even really wants to work with him after that last play. So, like, I don't even know what Isagi's really going to do. Corona has been facilitating Isagi a lot, so I'm interested to see how he operates offensively without Corona. Let's see. But I can't keep playing defensively and barely foiling their tactics. I gotta seize the initiative and force Snuffy to react to me. If I can't see further into the future than Snuffy, I can't win. Uh-oh. Metavision amp incoming. He's going to get another buff, a beefier buff than the one before. But that's interesting. Force Snuffy to react to me. I don't think you want that. Ironically enough, I get what Isai's going for here, because if he gets Snuffy to let's pause and consider our words. If he gets Snuffy to actually have to genuinely react to him, then you get the benefit of confusion. You get the benefit of uncertainty. The big issue that Isagi's dealing with right now is that Snuffy is chilling, because everything is just running dockets. He's like literally come up with who knows how many plans on how to orchestrate the field right now. And thusly, he's able to calmly react to and take care of any situation because he's literally thought of it all before. And due to that, there's less error. But if Isagi's able to genuinely force Snuffy to sit down and react to him, then bada bing, bada boom. There's a higher margin of error there. So I like it. I like what Isagi's going for here. Though I do think that's going to lead to a similar situation as last time when he got Lorenzo's attention. Sure. Congrats. You got the best player on the team's attention. Now you have to deal with the fact that you have the best players on the team's attention while you have 3 other people who are also trying to go for their own goals. Kunigami, Yukimaya, I almost said Kunigami again, Kaiser. Like, dog. Do you really want Snuffy on you, or do you want Snuffy on them? If you can force Snuffy to react to them, that's how you get in there. At least in my opinion. But let's see. Hey, Isagi Yoichi. Is it hard playing against Snuffy? Yes. At this rate, it's only a matter of... The core of Snuffy's playstyle is Jujutsu. Is that why he wears the black headband? Oh, no. Jujutsu? Originating from Japan, many martial arts, such as Judo, are based off Jujutsu. Jujutsu Kaisen? Jujutsu Kaisen refers to Blue Line? No. But right now, Jujutsu is a martial art that's being taught all over the world. Snuffy incorporated Jujutsu as part of his playstyle. What? Bro got the Jujutsu DLC? What? Core training, biomechanics, close combat. Snuffy incorporated the principles of Jujutsu and fused them with football. Thanks to Jujutsu, Snuffy's already world-class hold-up plays and ball retention skills became even more refined, not to mention his passing and scoring. Okay, and he's a black belt. That's pretty impressive. That's crazy. I know like 2 black belts in real life, and one of them's retired. The other one is a monster. The other one is a monster. He has calves the size of my head. I'm confident he can break bone. if he kicks your legs and you are like a regular dude, I'm confident you will simply not have a femur. You are done. So like I know some black, but then again, I don't think he doesn't do Jiu-Jitsu. He does another martial. I think he does Taekwondo. But still, that's crazy. Snuffy's a black belt and he went to reinforce his basic abilities. That's cool though. That's interesting to see the cross-sport unification. That does explain the fine-tuned body control, because you need like total control of your body in martial arts, no matter what martial art you're doing. So that's an interesting way to buff oneself. Strictly from a striker's perspective. Read, pencil, read! Strictly from a striker's perspective, I'm stronger than Snuffy. But in an all-around perspective, he's more versatile and flexible as a footballer. In terms of overall ability, I rate him as the best in the world. On top of that, his football IQ's off the charts. Then how are we gonna defeat him? Okay. I mean, it does make sense. Snuffy is taller. Interesting that Noah believes he's still superior as a striker, though. Well, I guess if Snuffy doesn't have the built-in 50-50, then yeah, Noah's going to be superior because he can score from anywhere. So like, I guess it does make sense that Snuffy would be better overall, but as a striker, you can't beat the 50-50. I don't know, like, never knowing where the shot is going to come from is one of the most dangerous things. Like, one of the main reasons that I think everyone knows that Steph Curry's Omega dangerous is that he is like lethal from the moment he passes half court. Sometimes before half court. Like the reason Steph Curry is so dangerous is that if he has the ball and he's feeling lucky, or if he's feeling like, oh yeah, I can do this, he can just pull up from half court and poof, 3-pointer. He can pull it from 2/3 court, 3-pointer. He can pull up right next to the basket. He can shoot from anywhere. That's why Steph Curry is so dangerous. And that's why I feel like someone like I tried to say Noah, then Snuffy, then Noah, then Snuffy. That's why Noah's so dangerous, because he can score from anywhere. So specifically as a striker, I see why Noah believes he's better, because Snuffy may not just have that ability. It's just not in his kit. So it makes sense that Noah would view that, but respect Snuffy's overall stats and better specs. Let's see. That's funny. Noah just doesn't believe there's any real way to beat him. Huh? Where's the cold logic and rationality? And what happened to verbalize your thought processes? Like I said, I don't know. Oh, I love how Isagi actually has the nerve to call out Noah. You know, chapter 1 Isagi wouldn't be able to do that. Heck, maybe not even like early second selection Isagi would be able to do that. Shout out to the ego he's developed. Like I said, I don't know. Ubers are moving as a team and efficiently launching one attack after another. Meanwhile, BM's disorganized. Since most of us can predict their attacks, we'll keep getting in each other's way. That's why I'm going to ask you if you got any advice on how to effectively stop them. I just came here to tell you this. Hold on for 3. Yo! No, it's just like me. Bro really said stall. just stall. It's true though. Like, if you play Dragon Ball Fighters, you know the most dangerous point in the match is when your opponent activates sparking. Heavens forbid, like, they're on their anchor character and they got like 43 seconds of that bad boy and they got like 3 bars. Dog, they can hit you with a light and if you are like at 60% or less, your character's done. And they can get the momentum back and they can go crazy. So like, what do you do when your opponent has sparking? You stall. It's like, how do you beat them? You could engage. You could try and get active. What do you gain from that other than extreme amounts of risk? Don't get active. Disengage. Step back. Don't put yourself in an unnecessary dangerous situation. Just throw the hands up and be like, hey, I ain't about that. You got it. So I love how Noah, number 1 striker in the world, is like, hey, don't play with that boy. He is not one of them. But let's see. After the 3 minutes is up, Snuffy will leave the field and the situation will change. Sometimes being patient will help open up a path. Okay. So I'm assuming stall tactics, Corona's still going to be tired after the 3 minutes, and then Noel is going to sub out for Hiyori. If I had to take a guess. I feel like somehow Ubers is going to score in this, like 3 minutes anyway, but Hiyori's got to come in, bro. If Hiyori doesn't come in, I know we've been saying Hiyori's going to come in for like the past 10 chapters, but like, we got to get him in the game. And with this stalling tactic being introduced, I can see it. But let's see. Patience, efficient, overlap. The game restarts with Uber's throw-in. It's this guy again. Patience, patience, patience. Ooh! That panel is gorgeous. Why is this panel so good? Isagi Yoichi. With this, I can probably surpass Snuffy, the key piece. Whoa, he's like, surpass Snuffy? That's a lot, my boy. That's a lot. Raichi! What? The future is always something you create for yourself. After talking to Noah, Isagi sees a potential way to turn the game back into BM's favor. Inside Isagi's mind, a winning formula emerges. Are you willing to die? Ooh! Ooh, we talking spooky, huh? We talking a bit spooky, ain't we? We talking a bit spooky, ain't we? Okay, Isagi, talk that spooky talk. Talk that you ready to perish talk. Okay, Isagi, okay, talk that. Okay, homeboy. He really about it. All right. So, Shakur. Yeah, peak lock. It's peak every week for a reason. I'm sorry, y'all. But why? Why is this chapter so peak in particular? Why do I really like this chapter? Even though realistically not much truly occurs in it. Number 1, it is very interesting to see Snuffy get active. Specifically on characters that I know are very difficult to get active against. Like, you see, he opens up this chapter really dominant with like controlling the entire field, utilizing all of his players and their abilities seemingly to their nigh on maximums, from using Lorenzo to immediately transitioning into using this guy to immediately transitioning into using Nico against, well, actually no, using himself again against Kaiser, a character who we know is a monster, a beast, and a demon of himself, only to have him style on Kaiser and then use Nico. This is one of my favorite parts of the chapter. Seeing Nico go 1v1 against Noah is crazy. And then immediately feeds Zabaro and obviously get my boy Isagi up in there for the stop. I love all that. And then even though the rest of the chapter is mostly talking and slopping off Snuffy, I really like Snuffy's abilities. His design, no, but his abilities are really, really cool. And I like how it's being incorporated and how his abilities are sort of like facilitating this simultaneously extremely organized yet chaotic field in terms of what BM is dealing with, all these plans. And it's great to see Noah be the one to do it. Like, of all the people you can get gassed up by, Noah's pretty much the best. Like, who else gives better slop than the #1 striker in the world? Like, that's crazy. And seeing Noel acknowledge and respect Snuffy like that is really, really cool. And I even like the stall tactics that get introduced, because it reminds me of video games. And obviously seeing Isai get active, nothing better. So overall, super duper W chapter. However, that's what I think. Please let what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notifications don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get links, exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil. Where are you? Where are you? Writing off.